is Tristan Gray. He likely means nothing to the 2025 edition of your favorite ball club. But I'm going to talk about him today, and it's not just because I'm chasing after the lowest hanging fruit or the reddest of meat here. Good morning to you. Good Monday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. Gray is 28 years old. He's coming off a season, I don't know if you can call it a season, but a partial season in the majors where for the Athletics, he had 28 at-bats and batted 107 as far as an average goes, 337 OPS. His career includes only 5 additional at-bats, the 152 average, and a 495 OPS. I'm going to repeat. He's 28 years old. He does have some impressive numbers, especially from the power standpoint in the minors. But on the surface, well, let's just get real here. When you're talking about a 28-year-old, what's on the surface is what's there. So they got somebody who's your classic 4A guy and hasn't been able to make anything happen in the bigs. Why am I wasting your time and mine on this subject matter when in all likelihood he's not even going to be retained on the 40-man roster when other players are signed? They'll just hope that they can squeeze him through to the minor leagues and help out Indianapolis in some form. Well, the reason that I'm bringing it up today is because there's going to be more of these guys, and for fullest context, there'll be more of these guys everywhere. The Dodgers will sign somebody or multiple somebodies like this. The Yankees will do it. The Mets will do it. The Red Sox will do it. It's really about organizational filler, which is one of the many derogatory internal terms that get used for stuff like this. Again, not unique to the Pirates. But one of the many reasons, and there are many, that I believe that Ben Cherington and Derek Sheldon, who have now tethered themselves together in accountability, which should now become the team's slogan. The Cherington quote from the press conference after the season: "The most predictable of all predictable things is that they will continue doing business as they've always done it." Why? Because Cherington is more motivated to show that his way is the right way than he is to win games, even if to win games is the only way that he can proceed with his beloved process. He has to show you that what he did, past tense, was right. He has to show everyone that, especially people inside the industry and very, very much especially inside the building. It's just how he's wired. It's everything that he's given off from day one. It's not going to change. They're not going to change. So here's another low-hanging fruit, red meat type of thing for everyone to consider, as long as that's the subject du jour. You would imagine that Cherington, Shelton, and a whole lot of other people in baseball ops just had a really, really rough few weeks. I don't know that, but I can put some pieces together. And there's no way that, regardless of anything that Bob Nutting and or Travis Williams would have told anyone, there's no way that they weren't thinking about how, wow, we could just be out on our ears the next day. They'd have to know what happened in 2019 when it looked like all those guys were staying, and then a month later, poof, they were all gone because Bob changed his mind. So you think to yourself, all right, well, we survived it. We got through it. What can we do now? What can we do to start swinging the pendulum and some sense of momentum, including maybe outside of this building, into our favor? And yeah, if it sounds like I'm pining for something on the PR front here, meaning from baseball ops, yeah, I think this is an extraordinary situation. I think you're going into a season where, at least to the best of my ability to gauge such stuff, a big portion of your fan base wishes you weren't here anymore. And an even bigger portion of that fan base doesn't believe that you can do it, has lost confidence in your capability of performing these tasks. And that does resonate. It makes it into your clubhouse. It makes it through all levels of your organization. People they circle like vultures, meaning on the inside. It's an unhealthy atmosphere. Why should they listen to you, for example, if they don't think anybody else thinks you're any good and they start thinking the same thing? Why should your players listen to you? Why should your coaches and instructors and scouts and analytics people listen to you? If they think, they know you're entering a lame duck season, hence being accountable together, why would they re-up? Why wouldn't they be spending their time sharpening up their resumes? So you'd think there might be something there where they go, you know what, let's go and get a free agent. Let's get somebody good. We've got this extra payroll. And it doesn't have to be for show. It doesn't have to be for effect. And it doesn't have to be forced. It can be somebody you want anyway. Might not be at the perfect price, but then it's not really your money, so don't worry about it. You're trying to save your jobs. You're trying to do something different. And what they do is they bring in a dude hitting 115. I can't. When we come back, J1Q.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragechek.org. That's gunstoragechek.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes courtesy of Rick, who says congrats to Jared Triolo, National League Gold Glover. 125 games at 5 different positions, only 3 errors all season. That's more than solid. I know some have argued giving a gold glove to a utility player somehow cheapens the award, considering the way metrics are weighted into it now. I would say that it does not. It's a good acknowledgement that guys like Triolo play an important role to a team, not just in Pittsburgh. This is well-earned and well-deserved. For anybody who missed what Rick's referring to, that news came out last night. Triolo won the Gold Glove. I have to admit, I was really surprised when he was a finalist, and doubly so when he won it. Not because of his own performance, as you point out here, the numbers, even if you get into the advanced metrics, not just errors, when you get into things like his range and his decision-making and how he handles himself at a lot of different positions, but really especially at third base. That's his natural position. And with Brian Hayes missing so much time, he was out there way more than the Pirates would have expected. My own feelings on Triolo, in addition to the fact that he's obviously a terrific glove, great dude, really popular with his teammates, is that unless he can make his September bat be a lot closer to the reality than the April through August bat, you're not going to see much more from him than utility usage. I would like to think, and I'd like to think this every September, that any player who rises up in the final month is doing something that can carry over into the following spring training and then, of course, carry over into the following season. I also know that that's very rarely the case. September ball on a team that's a million miles out of any kind of contention is a different kind of ball. Any old school baseball person will attest to this. I've heard it constantly throughout my reporting career. The burden's never really all the way off when you're someone like Triolo and you're kind of fringy and hanging on to a roster spot. And I'm sure that's especially true given the fact that he struggled offensively for the better part of the summer. But the onus is going to be on him to come in, not next spring training. Everybody hits in Bradenton, remember. but the next regular season and show everybody that he can hit. This is Triolo's not like some of these other glove-only guys who've come up from the minors and you wonder what it is that they're even doing here, the Alika Williams types who you're principally just happy to have them around because you know that they could fill in at shortstop if needed. Triolo has a history of being able to hit to a degree, not to any great degree, but to not be what he was for 5 months of this past season. And I know there's a lot of people that hope that happens because maybe he'll be the guy that takes Brian Hayes' place if Hayes doesn't ever get that back healthy. And we're opening up a whole separate can of worms here with that conversation. Triolo can be a nice piece, a completing type piece on a contender. The Pirates quite obviously are not that. So what ends up happening is he gets put out there more than anyone would like to see him out there, and I'm sure overexposed to a degree. This is the old Rob Makoviak principle, if you want to go back a few years, where Lloyd McClendon used to hear the fans constantly saying, play Makoviak, put him out there every day. And McClendon and everyone on his staff knew, and I mean knew, that Makoviak had areas that would get exposed the more he played, the more at-bats he had. I also don't know if that's the case regarding Triolo. It's probably worth finding out. It's nice to have a major leaguer capable of playing major league defense at multiple positions. It'd be nicer still if he can hit at anything approaching a respectable level. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. I'm going to do another one of these tomorrow.